make your acquaintance. Mama Do. So I wrote back, Dear Mama Do, I'm pretty sure acquaintance doesn't have a C in it. I really think you need to work on your English. Sincerely, Greg. I think it's dumb that Madame Lefrere won't let us use email with our pen pals. Albert Murphy has already written back and forth with his pen pal a bunch of times, and it's costing them a lot of money in stamps. Letter 1, Dear Jacques, how old are you? Letter 2, Dear Albert, 12. Letter 3, Dear Jacques. Oh, cost, $14. Friday. Tonight, Rowley's parents went out to dinner, so they got him a babysitter. I don't know why Rowley can't just watch himself for a few hours, but believe me, I'm not complaining. Rowley's babysitter is Heather Hills, and she's the prettiest girl at Crossland High School. So whenever the Jeffersons go out, I always make sure to be up at Rowley's for story time. I went up to Rowley's at about 8 o'clock tonight. I even splashed on some of Roderick's cologne to make sure I made a good impression on Heather. I knocked on the door and waited for Heather to answer, but I was caught a little off guard when Rowley's next-door neighbor Leland answered instead. I can't believe Rowley's parents switched babysitters from Heather to Leland. They should have at least checked with me before doing something stupid like that. Once I realized Heather wasn't there, I turned around to go back home. But Rowley asked me if I wanted to hang out and play Magic and Monsters with him and Leland. The only reason I said yes was because I thought it was some kind of video game. But then I found out that you play it with pencils and paper and these special dice, and that you're supposed to use your imagination or whatever. It actually turned out to be pretty fun. Mostly because in Magic and Monsters, you can do all sorts of stuff you could never do in real life. Like light Rowley's eyebrows with a torch. When I got home, I told Mom all about Magic and Monsters, and how Leland was a really awesome dungeon keeper. Roderick overheard me talking about Leland, and he said that Leland is the biggest nerd at his high school. But this is coming from a guy who spends his Saturday nights putting fake throw-up on people's cars in the Home Depot parking lot. So I think I'll just take Roderick's opinion with a grain of salt. Wednesday. I've been going up to Leland's house every day after school to play Magic and Monsters. I was headed up there again today when Mom stopped me at the door. Mom has been acting real suspicious of this whole Magic and Monsters thing. And from the questions she's been asking me, I guess she must think Leland is teaching me and Rowley witchcraft or something. So today, Mom said she wanted to go with me to Leland's to watch us play. I begged Mom not to come, because first of all, I knew she would never approve of all the violence in the game. And second of all, I knew that having her in the room would totally ruin the whole experience for everyone. When I begged Mom not to join us, it made her even more suspicious. So now there was no changing her mind. Rowley and Leland couldn't have cared less that Mom came with me. But I couldn't enjoy myself, because I felt like a total dork playing in front of her, saying things like, "My Tow Rock utters the spell of Toll Room." I figured Mom would eventually get bored and just go home. And right when I thought she was finally going to leave, Mom said that she wanted to join in the game. So Leland started setting up a character for Mom, even though I was trying to signal to him that it was a big mistake. When Leland created a character for Mom, Mom told me that she wanted her character to be my character's mother in the game. I did some quick thinking and told Mom that all the characters in Magic and Monsters are orphans, so she couldn't be my mother. And Mom believed me. But then she asked Leland if she could name her character Mom, and he said yes. I have to give Mom credit for figuring out that loophole, but it totally ruined the rest of the game for me. Even though Mom wasn't technically my mother in the game, she sure acted like she was. At this one point, our characters were hanging out in a tavern waiting for a spy to arrive. and my dwarf, Grimlawn, ordered a pint of mead. Mead is sort of like beer in Magic and Monsters, and I guess Mom didn't approve of that. She found a way to accidentally bump Grimlawn's arm and spill his drink. The worst part of the game was when we got into a battle situation. See, the whole point of Magic and Monsters is that you're supposed to kill as many monsters as possible so you can get points and move up in levels. But I don't really think Mom got that concept. When Leland announced that Mom had run into a pack of orcs and they looked hungry, she gave them all of our food. After about an hour of things going like this, I decided to quit. So I gathered up my stuff, and me and Mom headed home. On the way back, Mom was really talking up Magic and Monsters, saying how it could help me with my math skills and stuff like that. All I can say is, I hope she isn't planning on becoming a regular at these games, because the first chance I get, Mom is getting handed over to a pack of orcs. Thursday. After school today, Mom took me to the bookstore and bought just about every Magic and Monsters book on the shelf. She must have dropped about $200, and she didn't even make me cash in a single Mom buck. I realized maybe I judged Mom a little too quick, and maybe it wasn't such a bad thing having her in our group after all. I was all set to take my new books up to Leland's, but that's when I found out there was a catch. Mom actually bought all these books so me and Roderick could play Magic and Monsters together. She said it was a good way for the two of us to work out our differences. Mom told Roderick she wanted him to be the dungeon keeper, just like Leland. Then she dumped a pile of books on Roderick's bed and told him to start studying up. It was bad enough playing in front of Mom at Leland's house, but I knew playing with Roderick would be about 10 times worse. Mom was serious about me and Roderick playing together, so I knew I was going to have to go through with it. I spent about an hour up in my room making up characters with names Roderick couldn't make fun of, like Joe and Bob. Once I was finished, I met Roderick in the kitchen, and we started our game. In his first move as dungeon keeper, Roderick said, "You and your group of nerds fall into a pit, and it's full of dynamite and you blow up. The end." I guess I should be grateful that it was over with quickly, and I just hope Mom saved her receipts on those books. Friday. The teachers have really been cracking down on kids copying off of each other this year. Remember how I said I was glad I got put next to Alex Aruda in pre-algebra? Well, that hasn't done me any good. Mrs. Lee is my pre-algebra teacher, and I'm guessing she also had Roderick when he was in middle school, because that woman watches me like a hawk. Sometimes, I think it would be really cool if I had a glass eye or something like that. First of all, I could use it to play all sorts of wacky tricks on my friends. But the main thing I'd use it for is to help me get better grades. On the first day of school, I'd aim my glass eye down. Then, I'd go up to the teacher and say, "Listen, I just wanted to tell you I have a glass eye, so don't go thinking I'm looking at other people's papers." And the teacher would say, "Okie doke, thanks for letting me know." Then, during a test, I'd aim my glass eye down at my own paper, and I'd look at some brainy kid's paper with my real eye.
You are not welcome here.
I could copy away, and the teacher would be too dumb to notice. "Aw, that poor glass eye kid." Unfortunately, I don't have a glass eye. So Mom asks why I flunked my pop quiz in pre-algebra today. That's my excuse. Sunday. Roderick has been hitting Mom and Dad up for cash lately, so I guess the Mom Bucks program isn't really working out for him. Mom has tried to make Roderick do more chores to earn some money, but that hasn't been going too well. But tonight, Mom figured out a way Roderick could earn some cash. My school sent home a newsletter saying that music education has been canceled because of budget cuts, so parents should give their kids private music lessons. Mom told Roderick he could give me private drum lessons, and that she would pay him for it.
Fight.
I think Mom came up with the idea because lately, Roderick's been telling everyone he's a professional drummer. There's this local show called The Comedian's Follies, where all the neighborhood parents do a bunch of comedy skits, and it's been running in our local theater for about 2 weeks. The other night, the regular drummer got sick, so Roderick filled in, and he got paid $5 to play a rim shot on the drums after each corny joke. I don't know if that really makes Roderick a professional drummer, but that didn't stop me from using it to score points with the girls at school. Hey girls, my brother's a professional drummer. When Mom told Roderick he should start giving me drum lessons, he wasn't too hot on the idea. But then Mom said she'd pay him $10 a lesson, and that I could get a bunch of my friends to sign up too. So now I've got to recruit some people for Roderick's Drum Academy. And I can already tell, this isn't going to be a lot of fun. Monday.
Round 1.
I
Fight.
couldn't get any of my friends to sign up for Roderick's drum school except Rowley, and I kind of had to trick him into doing it. Rowley is always saying he wants to learn how to play the drums. He wants to play the kind they use in marching bands. I told Rowley I knew for a fact that Roderick was going to cover all that stuff in week 4, and that got Rowley pretty excited. I was just glad I wasn't going to have to take drum lessons all by myself. Rowley came over after school, and we went down to the basement to start our first lesson. Roderick started us off with some pretty basic drum things. There was only one practice pad and 2 drumsticks, so Rowley had to use a paper plate and some plastic utensils. But I guess that's what happens when you're the last person to sign up for a class. After about 15 minutes, Roderick got a call from Ward, and that put an end to our first lesson. Class is dismissed early. Mom wasn't too happy to see me and Rowley upstairs so soon, and she sent us back down to the basement. She said not to come up until Roderick had administered us the practice assignment. So he did. He told us, your homework is to listen to some music. Drums in it. Tuesday. Me and Rowley had drum lessons with Roderick again today. Well, Roderick might be a good drummer, but he's not a good teacher. Me and Rowley tried our best to do the drills Roderick taught us, but every time we messed up, Roderick would get frustrated. Roll. Eventually, he got so fed up that he took our drumsticks away. Roderick sat down at his drum set and told us to watch and learn. Then he started doing this really long drum solo that didn't have anything to do with the drills he was teaching us.
Predator. Win. Fatality.
Roderick didn't even look up from his drum set when me and Rowley left and went upstairs. I'm not complaining though, because the way I see it, this way everyone wins. We played video games while Roderick finished his drum solo. Thursday.
Sub-Zero.
We've got a history paper due the day before Thanksgiving, and I'd better start getting serious about it. The teachers are getting a lot stricter about the quality of work we turn in, and the way I usually do things isn't working so good anymore. Last week, we had a paper due in science, and Mrs. Breckman said we have to choose an animal to write about. So I picked the moose. I know I should have gone to the library and done research, but I just decided to wing it. The Amazing Moose by Greg Heffley. Diet. The moose eats many things. But the list would be way too long to put in this paper, so I will save us all some time by just listing the things that the moose does not eat. Bubblegum. Lettuce. Pizza. Even though there are moose habitats set up all over the place, the moose is almost extinct. Everybody knows the moose evolved from birds, just like people did. But somewhere along the line, people got horns, and the moose got stuck with those useless horns. The end. I actually thought I did a pretty good job, but I guess Mrs. Breckman must be an expert on mooses or something. She made me go to the library and start the paper over from scratch. And my next paper isn't going to be any easier. about the 1900s in Mr. Huff's class, and I don't know the first thing about history or poetry. So I guess I'd better start getting the books. Monday. I was up at Rowley's playing board games yesterday, and the craziest thing happened. When Rowley was in the bathroom, I noticed that there was some play money sticking out of the box of one of the other games. I couldn't believe my eyes, because the play money inside that game was the exact same kind of money Mom uses for Mom Bucks. When I counted it up, there was something like $100,000 in cash in that box.
Jason.
It only took me about 2 seconds to figure out what to do next. I snagged it. When I got home, I ran upstairs and stuffed the money under my mattress. I tossed and turned all night trying to figure out what to do with my Mom Bucks. I realized Mom would probably have some way of knowing the difference between phony Mom Bucks and the real thing. So this morning, I decided to try a little experiment. I asked Mom if I could cash in some Mom Bucks so I could buy stamps to write my pen pal. I was nervous when I handed Mom the money, but she took it without hesitation. I can't believe my luck. I figured I could make this $100,000 last all the way through high school, and maybe even farther. I might not even have to get a real job later on.
Round 2.
The trick will be not to cash in too much at one time, or Mom will know something's up. And I have to remember to earn a few Mom Bucks for real here and there so she doesn't get too suspicious. I will say one thing for sure, though, and it's that I won't be using the money Mom gave me to buy stamps. I got a picture from my pen pal, Mama 2, in the mail yesterday. That pretty much killed any chance of me writing him back. And he calls himself super cool. Tuesday. My history paper is due tomorrow, but they've been saying all week that it's going to snow about a foot tonight. So I haven't really been sweating it all that much.
Jason.
At around 10 o'clock, I peeked out the window to see how many inches of snow were on the ground so far. But I couldn't believe my eyes when I pulled back the curtain. Nada. Man, I was counting on school being canceled tomorrow. I turned on the news to see what happened. The weather guy was telling a totally different story than it was 3 hours ago. That meant I had to get cracking on my history paper. The problem was, it was too late to go to the library, and we don't have any books in our house that are about the 1900s. So I knew I had to think of something quick. Then, I had a great idea. Dad has mailed Roderick out 1,000,000 times on history papers, so I figured he could help me too. I told Dad about my situation, thinking he'd jump right in and help. But I guess Dad has learned his lesson in that department. He only said, "Good luck with that." Roderick must have overheard me talking to Dad, because he told me I should follow him downstairs. You know how Roderick had Mr. Huff, my history teacher in middle school? Well, it turns out Mr. Huff gave Roderick's class the exact same assignment when he was in my grade. Roderick dug around in his junk drawer and found his old paper, and then he told me to sell it to me for $5. I told him there was no way I'd do that. I'll admit, it was pretty tempting, because number one, since all of Roderick's assignments had gone through Dad, I knew Roderick would get a grade on his paper. And number two, it was in one of those clear plastic binders that teachers go crazy for. Plus, I had a huge stash of Mom Bucks under my mattress upstairs, and I knew I could pay Roderick for that. But I couldn't. I mean, I've copied off people's papers on quizzes and stuff before, but cutting a paper off of someone is taking it to a whole nother level. So I decided I was going to just have to suck it up and do the paper myself. I started doing some research on the computer, but at about midnight, the worst possible thing happened. The power went out. That's when I knew I was in some serious trouble. I knew I'd flunk history if I didn't turn in a paper. So even though I didn't want to, I decided to take Roderick up on his offer. I scraped together $500 in mom bucks and went down to the basement. But Roderick didn't let me off that easy. His fee had gone up. Roderick told me his new price was $20,000 in mom bucks. I told him I didn't have it, so he just rolled over and went back to sleep. At that point, I was really desperate, so I went upstairs and grabbed a big handful of $1,000 bills and brought them down to Roderick's room. I gave him the money, and he turned over the paper. I felt really bad about what I did, but I just tried not to think about it when I went to sleep. On the bus ride to school, I took Roderick's paper out of my bag, but I took one look at it and knew something was seriously wrong. First of all, the poem wasn't typed out. It was in Roderick's own handwriting. That's when it hit me. Dad only started doing Roderick's paper for him once he got to high school. So that meant this paper was Roderick's own work. I started reading Roderick's paper to see if I could still use it. But apparently, Roderick was worse about doing his research than me. 100 years ago, by Roderick Henley. Sometimes I sit and wonder about stuff I don't know. Like what the heck the Earth was like 100 years ago. Did cavemen ride on dinosaurs? Did flowers even grow? Well, we could guess. That was that. 100 years ago. I wish they built the dinosaurs and they could check out what to see. 100 years ago. Did giants fight in the desert? Snow? Suburbs?